oi, so you made a mistake. Ooh, that is so lovely, so lovely. And you are feeling guilt or shame or regret as a result of it. Yay, yay, darling. Fantastic. This is so delicious. This is so delicious. Because now we are going to make that mistake that you made vanish. If you stick around. So, mistakes. Mistakes. Oh, those lovely mistakes. Welcome to the club of making mistakes. I'm also a member of that club. And now that we have gathered here in this club, I'd love to share my experience. Because years ago, many years ago, I made a mistake. I made a mistake, and it was not a small mistake. No, darling, no. It was a huge one. I made a huge mistakes. I made a huge mistake, years ago. As I had to make a decision back then. And the decision I made was that mistake. As it was not aligned with what my inner guidance was telling me. It wasn't, in other words, aligned with my soul. The decision I made back then was not aligned with my soul's values. You know, I made a mistake. I made a decision based on what other people might think of my decision. So instead of listening to my soul, I listened to what other people might think of my decision and acted out of alignment back then. I wasn't back then yet living in alignment with my soul. And yeah, you know, as a result of that mistake that I made, I felt horrible for years. As that mistake kept looping in my mind. It was that bad that it kept looping in my mind for years. And I felt horrible as a result of thinking about that mistake for years. Yay. As back then I didn't have the tools to handle the situation, as I hadn't yet found the world of inner work. And I had no idea that I could actually transform my thoughts and how I feel about things. So, I suffered as a result of that mistake that I made, that was not aligned with my soul for years. And now I'm not going to let the same thing happen to you. As now I have the tools, now I know how to handle this kind of a situation. So, now let's change the perspective around the mistake that you made. You know, darling, there are no mistakes. No, there are no mistakes. Wow, okay. In that case, we can do like this. There are no mistakes. There are only... Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? To change the perspective. Okay. Learnings. There are only learnings. Okay. So, for instance, in my case, when I felt horrible as a result of that mistake, I felt the misalignment for a long time. But did I learn? Did I learn something going through that? Feeling that regret? Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. I learned a lot. It taught me that I never want to act like that again. So I definitely learned as a result, thanks to the mistake I made. Thanks to it. Now I live in radical alignment with my soul. Thanks to that mistake, I learned something. That as a result of it, now I know exactly how to deal with such a situation in future. How to act, how to decide in a similar situation in future. That is aligned with my soul. With my soul's values. Not caring about what other people might think of my decisions. Purely listening to my soul. My inner guidance and my gut feeling. So, now let's think about that mistake that you made, which actually has already vanished. What did your soul learn thanks to it? Thanks to having made that mistake. What would the learning be if your soul transformed that mistake into an incredibly valuable learning? Perhaps you choose to never act in a similar way again. Or whatever it might be, darling, you know what the learning is in your case. It depends on your case. What did you learn? What did you learn, honey? If you would love to share your positive learning, your positive perspective in the comments down below. or if you have something else to say to me regarding this topic, feel free to comment.